Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought we would have a little bit of a catch up, a little bit of a life update because I wanted to just get in here. I wanted to get into my cozy bed and let you all in on what's been happening lately. So as you can see, the bedroom is pretty much finished from this, just this half. The bedroom's not finished. The bedroom's nowhere near finished. The paneling is finished. The lights are up. I've got new light bulbs. I brushed them with the Rub and Buff Gold. Do you guys remember I took you with me? We went to Dunelm and I found these two dark metal stars and I've put the gold Rub and Buff on them as well. So I'm going to get my cup of tea and we're going to do this without crying. Hello everyone, if you are new here, my name is Claire and this is my home channel, At Home with Claire. My main channel is Claire's Crafty Corner on YouTube, and that's where I do lots of art, lots and lots of different bits, mostly epoxy resin and eco pouring mediums. But this is my baby, this is my hobby, if you will, my home channel. So if you've been with me a while, my friends, my regular friends that join me on my channels each week will probably know that I've been having a few health issues relating to the use of my hands. Now, I don't want to make a massive long story when it's quite simple and short. 3 years ago we got the dog, we got George, love of my life, and then around about 3 weeks after we got George, I started experiencing a lot of hand pain. It was just one hand at one point and then nothing for months, and then suddenly both hands would go. And I guess fast forward 3 years on, I have finally got my diagnosis and I have been officially diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And the last couple of weeks have been a blur, an absolute blur, emotional roller coaster. Fine 1 minute, optimistic and positive, and the next minute the world has ended. Everything's ended. Claire's Crafty Corner has to close down. You know, like I'm trying not to be a catastrophist, but yeah. My symptoms started, like I said, 3 years ago. We got George. 3 weeks later, my right hand gave up. Like, couldn't bend my fingers, couldn't bend my wrist. I thought, oh, it must be the puppy. Obviously, I'm doing a lot with him, playing tug, doing all of the things, and I've sprained my wrist. That was it. I've sprained my wrist, I put it out of my head. 3 days later, it was fine. Absolutely fine. I could bend my fingers, everything was fine. And then it was probably a good 2 months before anything happened again. And then my left hand played up. So I thought, that's odd, you know, that's odd, right? Because it was my right hand, now it's my left. I'm still blaming the puppy. Equally, on my art channel, I'm thinking, oh, do you know, I just did some air dry clay and maybe I was, all of the movement, the dexterity, the manipulation of the clay, I've done something to my hand. So again, put it out of my head. Didn't think anything else really. I just thought it's all of the art that I'm doing, the stirring, the mixing, lots of hand wrist movement. Maybe I've got that repetitive strain injury, lots and lots of typing on the internet, lots of my phone, because it's my job. I'm on social media all the time. I'm scrolling my phone. I'm doing live chats 3 times a week, and I'm constantly typing. And so I guess I just didn't think anymore, you know. Fast forward from getting George in the April to the September when both my hands gave up at the same time, and I thought, that's not right. Something must be going on, something else must be happening. And that is when I made an appointment with my doctor. This was back in Essex, things are a lot worse back in Essex when it comes to doctor's appointments and schedules and being seen and wait times and all of this. So made an appointment with my doctor. I went in and I just said, something's not right with my hands, like really not right. And so she sent me to physio. That was her first initial thing, send me to physio. So I went to physio, and of course when I went to the physiotherapist, I was fine. I was absolutely fine. He was like, can you make a fist? I was like, yeah. And he said, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you pull? I was like, yeah, no problem. I'm fine. I'm fine today. The problem's not today. The problem was 4 weeks ago when I went to the doctors with this complaint. So again, nothing to report, nothing of any significance, no worries, nothing to see here. It was very much like a nothing wrong sort of thing. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll just take it easy. And then it happened probably from that January onwards. It was happening every month. So once a month, just before my period, right? So I'm keeping a log at this point. I'm keeping a log. It's happening every month just before my period. I'm like, oh, it's hormonal. Of course, I'm 40. What am I now? 48 now. So I would have been 45 at the time. It's perimenopause. So straight away, I've gone straight down this train track. It's perimenopause, right? Joint pain in perimenopause is very common. I didn't know this, so I'm going down this rabbit hole of that's what it must be. That's what it must be. I'm perimenopausal. Of course, I've got all the other symptoms of perimenopause, like my brain fog is really becoming an issue. I'm driving to places not remembering why I went there, or I remember driving to B&Q when I wanted to be somewhere else, and I parked outside B&Q and I thought, why am I at B&Q? I meant to go to the range, so I'm 100% confident at this point. It's perimenopause, it's hormonal, we need to get balanced, we need to sort all of this out. So I'm back at the doctor's at this point because it's regular now. The pain is at least once every 6 weeks, a month to 6 weeks. So I've gone back to the doctor's and I said, look, it's regular now. It's also starting in my elbows. So I realised when I'm sitting on the sofa, right, and I put my cup of tea down over here on the table, all my elbows, they don't want to rotate. They don't want to move that way. They don't want to go that way. And you all know, if you've been with me a while, I had a frozen shoulder just once. One frozen shoulder. I never ever want that again. Worst 3 days of my life. That's when I went to Ireland. My uncle was very, very poorly. I got a call from my cousin, you need to come now. I went over, spent the night in the hospital with my mother, and my uncle passed with us. My mum and myself were there as my uncle passed away. It was a very emotional time. Okay. I just put it down to stress. I thought, obviously it was stressful having to, drop everything and run to Ireland. But obviously the circumstances were also stressful. So I just put it down to that. I was like, okay, it must be stress then. And I did realise that when I was in heightened levels of stress, when anything, and I'm talking big stress, I don't mean first world stress, like I couldn't find the cushions for the bed. I'm talking stress, it would get worse. And so I said to the doctor, I think it's hormonal, right? Whenever I'm upset, I'm crying, my hands play up, my elbows hurt. And I was a lot bigger then. If you guys have been with me a while, you'll know I lost 3.5 stone since June. So June this year, I've lost 3.5 stone. Doing Slimming World, just eating healthy. Lots and lots and lots of goodness, lots of healthy, lots and lots of walking, lots of everything, right? All of the good stuff, stuffing my face. And the weight is falling off. But at the time when I was bigger, my feet weren't an issue, really, not really. And I didn't want to go in there and say my feet hurt, because you guys know it's going to be like, well, you might want to lose a few pounds. So at the time it was predominantly my hands, my elbows. And so fast forward then to the January, so like almost coming up to a year after we got the dog, they sent me for blood tests. Me fully expecting nothing to come back on the blood tests. They actually sent me for x-rays and MRI scans with the gel, you know, on the hands and the feet. And the x-rays came back clear, which they would, right, because it's not in the bone. And the scans came back clear, no remarkable features, nothing to worry about. So again, it was like, but why am I in so much pain? The blood tests, however, my blood tests came back that I had high rheumatoid factor in the blood. No inflammation, but I had high rheumatoid factor. So I was a bit devastated. I was like, does that mean rheumatoid arthritis? But the truth is, if anyone here has got any kind of autoimmune disease, is what it is. If anyone here has got any kind of autoimmune disease, such as rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, lupus, really hard to diagnose. Really hard to diagnose. And they don't, you know, your blood test doesn't just come back saying, yeah, rheumatoid arthritis. It comes back saying she's got this level of rheumatoid factor, but then no inflammation. And that's what my bloods were saying. I've got rheumatoid factor, but no other issues. Now, you can have high rheumatoid factor in your blood and not have anything. Nothing wrong with you at all. But you've got high rheumatoid factor. So again, it was all very, very confusing. Now, at the time, this was coming up on the famous May 2024. Yeah, May 2024. I'm poorly by this point. I'm getting better. I have in and outs. So May 2024 is when they said to me, Claire, come on in. We've got all your results. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about your options and we'll talk about what's going to happen. So I go to a big event in Birmingham called Makers Central, and I go there for 4 days. I come back with COVID. My first ever time. Who catches COVID in 2024? What a loser. That was me. First time ever catching COVID, 2024. I come back from Makers Central. I'm okay at this point. Physically, I'm fine. I had a great weekend in Makers Central. But hundreds and hundreds of people from my other channel, friends that had come to meet me, and we had just the best time. Lots and lots of hugs, lots of kisses. And of course, I came back with COVID. Sadly for me, it wasn't just a straightforward COVID case. It was quite rotten, quite rotten. Of course it would be. COVID attacked my kidneys. I got a severe kidney infection. I ended up in A&E on a drip to treat my kidney infection, and then my kidney infection gave me it put my back out. I mean, I felt like I had a broken back. I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. This was, by the way, while we were selling the house. That's a whole other story. The house was on the market at this point, right? So I'm in absolute agony. I can't walk. They want us to do the viewings on the house. I'm like, cancel all viewings. Do you know, I rang the estate agent and I was like, look, can we cancel tonight's viewing? I've just been not diagnosed. I've just got COVID. I've got COVID. And she was like, any chance you could just sit in the car and we'll do the viewing? I was like, we've both got COVID. You want viewers to come into our house knowing that we've both got COVID. Are you okay? So she was like, yeah, that's fine. You know, we've got to live with it. Life goes on. I was like, absolutely not. I'm in bed. I can't move. And you want me to go sit in the car. But anyway, look, I digress. Thus, listen, the story here is that I missed my feedback appointment at the hospital. The week later was my feedback appointment at the hospital. I couldn't walk. I'd already been into A&E, they knew that. I couldn't walk at this point. I was still testing positive for COVID. I was very, 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 very poorly. And I tried ringing the hospital for about 4 hours to let them know that I wasn't going to make this appointment. Of course, nobody was answering, nobody was picking up, I couldn't get through. And because of that, I was discharged. Just like that. I didn't show, it was a no-show. I was discharged. I got a letter through the post about a week ago with a diagnosis of unexplained mechanical arthritis. Nothing else. Unexplained mechanical arthritis. Not rheumatoid, not sciatic, something like that. Psoriatic. I think it's like based on psoriasis, like skin condition arthritis. Not sure. So that was that. But then I just didn't feel bad. We sold the house. It was exciting, stressful, yes, but exciting. We moved here. The last year has been amazing. In and out of hand pain, in and out of everything. Well, fast forward to September 2025. 2 months ago, literally 2 months ago, 3 months ago, things got bad, really, really bad. And I wouldn't necessarily put it down to stress. I was waking up every single day I would class it as chronic pain. Chronic. There's no other way to describe it. And I remember the doctor once telling me, when I was going through the process back in Essex, I do remember her telling me, it's when it's daily that it's a problem. Like, we can treat you now so that it doesn't become daily. But if it's daily, you need immediate medical attention. So back in September, I thought, oh, I swear, this has been like a whole week now of me waking up, unable to move my fingers, bend my fingers. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon before I could do anything. I couldn't hold a cup of tea. I couldn't lift the kettle. I couldn't do anything. So went to the doctors here. Unreal, completely different experience to Essex. Seen immediately that day. I rang at 8 a.m. They called me back, got me straight in for 9 o'clock. I said, this is the situation. This is my history. It's been 3 years now. 3 years now at this point. And it's daily. I'm in daily agony. It's impacting my ability to work. It's impacting everything I do. Everything. I get up in the morning. I'm like, I can't move. My feet are aching. I've lost a ton of weight by this point. I'm in so much more pain now than I was before I lost 3.5 stone. So just eat the cake, kids. No, don't do that. So, oh God, I'm so short. Look at my dinky little legs. They're not so dinky. But so she takes me very, very seriously. She looks at my history, and immediately thinks, this is rheumatoid arthritis. I'm going to refer you immediately to rheumatology. We're going to go back, get your bloods, get your x-rays, get all the things. Within a month. Now, bear in mind, it took a year for Essex to refer me for blood tests and x-rays and rheumatology. It took a year because it was back and forth. We don't know what this is. And, you know, oh, okay, after a year, they said, fine, we'll refer you to rheumatology. So within a month, I had x-rays, all bloods, all of the things. And I got an immediate, you need to come in because this is bad. So firstly, x-rays showed nothing, as it would, right? And the bloods came up really high with rheumatoid factor and something else that I can't remember off the top of my head. It was like a serum, something, citrical something, super high in my blood. Everything else is fine. Blood platelets, white cells, red cells, anything that's, you know, a little bit more serious, everything's fine. Now, they ruled out lupus. Because I've got absolutely no other symptoms whatsoever for lupus. I would even say that lupus is way more severe than rheumatoid arthritis. From what I've researched, please don't, I'm not a medical professional, please don't come for me on that. But nothing. I've got, apart from sore hands and feet, there's nothing that says anything about lupus. Like, everything else is absolutely fine. So they set up a Zoom call. Now, my call with the doctor was last week Friday. It was a Zoom call. The doctor spoke to me about all of the results, all of the findings, and he said he can confidently suggest it's rheumatoid arthritis. Again, one of the hardest things to diagnose. He feels it's rheumatoid arthritis. I fit the criteria. My blood's high rheumatoid. But he's just a bit like, there's no inflammation in your blood. And at the time I was in agony, guys. I mean, agony. My hands were all swollen. Everything was just stiff, top to bottom, elbows, nothing was moving. I couldn't open a water bottle, I couldn't open milk, I couldn't lift the kettle, can't brush my hair, forget that, forget brushing my hair, everything hurt. And he said to me, like, I can see how swollen you are, but there's no inflammation in your blood at all whatsoever, but you do have high rheumatoid factor. So he said he's going to go ahead and, you know, diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis, but we just need some more bloods for other things. I was like, okay, fine. So then, because of the impact, because it's impacting my daily life, my main channel, my art channel, Claire's Crafty Corner, weirdly, I worked my butt off in October. I worked my backside off to get 3 videos a week out for Halloween, and I felt fine. I wasn't filming until later in the day, but I was okay. But the last 2 weeks have put me on my backside. Put me on my backside. It was like everything came to a complete standstill. Just walking from my bed to the toilet in the morning, I wanted to cry. Getting up every day, I'm crying. I'm like, life is over. Everything I've ever known is over. This is the drama queen, drama school, catastrophist Claire. I didn't go to drama school. I so should have. I would have excelled. I'm thinking at this point, rheumatoid arthritis is the end of the world. It's the end of everything I know. What am I going to do for work? What job am I going to get? But then I'm thinking, do you know what? I've got my home channel. I've got this channel. This channel is going to see me through until I die at the ripe old age of 110. Okay, 110. I was just devastated. Honestly devastated. I'm still a little bit upset about it. I'm not going to lie, because it's only been a week. It's only been a week since I got my official diagnosis, and I think I don't know. I think I'm angry. I'm very angry. Okay, stop. I am angry. There you go. Therapist, you can therapize me, okay? I'm mourning. I'm in mourning, and I'm angry, and I'm frustrated that my body has betrayed me. That's how it feels. I know, again, that sounds so dramatic. That's just how it feels right now. I will get over it, guys. I promise. I don't know if I just feel alone in this, but I'm 48, and people can be diagnosed with arthritis as children. It's not an older person disease, and I think that's where there's so much misinformation around rheumatoid arthritis, okay? And everyone just thinks, oh yeah, my grandma had that. And like, I know my grandma had that. My grandma's hands used to be so buckled and her feet were so distorted. So you always just automatically think, oh, it's an older person thing. And, you know, I know people get diagnosed at 20, 15 years old, 10 years old for, you know, that juvenile arthritis, and then 30 years old, 25, 30 years old, getting diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and being on medication for the rest of your life. So I know that I've been so lucky to get away with it until the age of 48. I do. I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm trying to stay grateful. But right now, I'm going in and out of periods of feeling a little bit sorry for myself. And I think that's okay. At first, it was like every half an hour, I would just burst into tears. And then now I've got like longer periods of being emotionally balanced and emotionally regulated. And Claire, get a grip. Get a grip. Medicine is miraculous. Doctors, nurses, medicine. Science, okay? Science is miraculous what they can do nowadays. So fast forward to this week. I said to the doctor, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I can't make a cup of tea right now. I can't walk to the 3rd floor for my craft room. I can't do it. My knees won't bend. So he basically gave me 2 options. He said, we're going to start on methotrexate. So they're going to start my medication is going to be methotrexate, which I've heard so many wonderful things about, and I'm sure it's going to be transformative. Okay, let me take a breath. Okay, let's get back to 2019, Claire. So my medication is going to be methotrexate. A lot goes into that as well. I need to take it alongside folic acid because it can be harsh on the stomach, and that's a story for another day. In the meantime, I can't have that immediately. It can take up to 3 months for methotrexate to start working in your system. And I said to the doctor, I'm not going to last 3 months. I can't, there's no way I can do this for 3 months. I will lose everything. I'll lose my channel. I'll lose everything. I will literally, I just can't do it. So he was just like, it's all right, Claire, we've got a plan. Chill out. Chill out. We've got you. We've got a plan. And that was to go in immediately. Like literally, this was Friday, go in first thing Monday for a steroid shot. And I was like, give me it all. Give me the needle. I will have whatever you want to throw at me. I will take it. So that was the plan. I got an immediate appointment for the following week to go in to the rheumatology injection clinic. And that is where my world turned around. Like, I am telling you, it took me about 20 minutes to walk. I mean, the hospitals are ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, but the old hospitals in this country, you need a sat nav to get around. But I found my way to rheumatology courtesy of the hospital volunteers who help people navigate. And I went in and she talked me through it. She talked me through the steroid injection, and it just went in top of my butt. So she just, the doctor told me it was going to go in my bum cheek, right? So she said, oh, can you, and I was like, yeah. So I pulled my trousers right down. I was like, jab it, go for it, bend over, just do it right now, I'm in pain. And she said, actually, I just need your hip. I was like, oh, okay. I couldn't even pull the trousers back up, guys, because my hands weren't working. I was like, you're gonna need to dress me. You're gonna need to pull them back up, because my husband had to dress me this morning. Listen, I didn't think I'd reach the age of 48 and have to ask my husband to put my socks on for me. So she injected me, big syringe. I'm okay with needles, don't have an issue with needles at all whatsoever. Barely felt it, because your girl has got flesh. Stay fat, people, stay fat. You don't feel injections, don't do that. She injected me into my hip, and she said it can take 1 to 3 working days 1 to 3 days for it to really have effect and for you to feel any different. Well, let me tell you something. I walked home from the hospital. It was a 30-minute walk. Now, Tim did say, I'll come get you. I was like, no. The more I move, the better I feel, right? That's the key as well. The more I move, the better I feel. So I walked home from the hospital. It didn't feel great. It did not feel great. Let's not get it twisted. Got home, sat down, cried over the fact that my life was over. My life is not over. I was going through it. And yeah, I had a cup of tea. I didn't think any more of it. It didn't hurt. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel any side effects. I didn't feel any kind of woo, nothing. It was in me. I knew it could take 1 to 3 working days. Why do I keep saying that? 1 to 3 days to work. And also it can stay in my system up to 6 weeks. And I was like, happy days. Let me tell you something, because I want to say it was about 4 or 5 hours later, I was like a new woman. Now, again, could have been placebo. But by that evening, I could walk up the stairs 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, instead of dragging. My knees were bending, my knees were working, and my knees didn't hurt. I stood up from the sofa. I was like, oh, is this what life was like 3 months ago? Is this what life was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, before this? Is this what life can be like? Is this what my future looks like? The overwhelming, almost spiritual, I'm telling you, almost meditative state that I was in, because I was pain-free by that evening, was something else. It was something else. And I have never felt so grateful, so humble for anything in my life than I was for that steroid shot in my butt, in my hip. I cannot explain that I saw a light. I saw a light. I think that's what it was. I was in this dark, dark, dark pit of self-pity, which is ridiculous because I know there's people suffering all over the world, guys. I do know that. I was on the verge of closing down Claire's Crafty Corner mentally. And by that night, I could walk, I could move my wrists. I was like, Tim, I just opened the milk. And Tim was like, well done. It was transformative. I cannot explain it. So then I start to think, well, what next, right? A little bit going back to the beginning as well. Rheumatoid arthritis is one of those things that anyone can get. Anybody. It's not necessarily weight related. Does weight help? No. Of course it doesn't help. Weight doesn't help any condition unless a brick wall falls on you and you've got enough jelly to protect your vital organs, all right? But weight doesn't help rheumatoid arthritis. Everyone knows that, right? Common knowledge. But is it because of your weight that you've got it? Anyone can get it. Anybody can get rheumatoid arthritis. You know, healthy, fit runners, healthy, fit gym goers, anybody. And there's also a genetic factor. So they did ask me if rheumatoid arthritis runs in my family. And of course, I'm sure my dad is watching. He won't mind me saying, thanks, Dad. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would have preferred a check in the post that I could maybe buy something nice with. But I'll take rheumatoid. I'm kidding, Dad. Don't feel bad. They did ask me and I just said, yes, my dad does have rheumatoid arthritis. My dad is on medication. My dad takes methotrexate. We don't know for sure if my grandma had medication, but she was definitely a little bit buckled up. Like her hands and her feet were like gone at this point. So my grandma passed away when she was 96. So if she was on any kind of medication for rheumatoid arthritis, we've got long lives to look forward to, okay? It's all good. It's all okay. I needed to stop Googling straight away because... Get to the point, Claire. The point is, I've had my jab. I feel amazing, right? The middle finger on my right hand still doesn't want to bend. I've been filming resin, but like in some of the video clips, you can kind of see my fingers are straight. Like they're really straight because I just couldn't bend. Had my jab. The 9th of December, I am back at the rheumatology department. Now, I believe the 9th of December 2025 is when they're going to start me on methotrexate. I have a neighbour friend who also has rheumatoid arthritis and takes methotrexate, who was also a nurse for the NHS. She has been filling me in on everything. She takes it weekly. She takes folic acid alongside it. My dad also takes the folic acid to offset the impact of the methotrexate in his stomach. So I kind of know what's coming. Hopefully it will work for me. Touch wood, touch some, oh, that's MDF. Touch wood, right, guys, touch wood. It all works and it all goes to plan. Now, I am hoping on the 9th of December I get another steroid shot. I'm not going to lie. I don't feel like I can go through Christmas in pain. And if this steroid shot only lives in your system for 6 weeks, well, it will have truly run out. Truly run out by Christmas. So I am going to speak to them on the 9th of December. It doesn't quite say in my letter. It just says rheumatology department. It does say I've got to go to the rheumatology injection clinic. So I'm hoping they're just going to jab me up again, keep me sweet, and give me my methotrexate. And then I start my journey on methotrexate. As far as I know, rheumatoid arthritis is not a curable condition. It's not a curable disease. It's not like I can take meds and I'll be okay in 6 months. Some people do go into remission. I've been reading up all about it. Some people can go into remission and have absolutely no symptoms for years and years and years. Are they still on drugs? Like, are they still on medication? I don't know. I don't know enough. I'm not a medical professional. I only know what's happening to me. deep down, I still wish it was just, you know, perimenopause and maybe some repetitive strain injury, but it is here, it's here to stay, and I need to embrace it. And there's no point in me pretending I'm okay. There's no point in me saying to people, hey, like, I'm gonna take a break from Claire's Crafty Corner because my hands don't work. I just took a massive break from Claire's Crafty Corner. That was because I did get sick. I got a nasty rotten head cold and chest cold, which impacted the use of my hands. So that is also why I took a break on Claire's Crafty Corner. I couldn't even get up. I couldn't get up to the top floor. So at this point, I hope you will still understand if I take a break here and there. If you also have rheumatoid arthritis, please do let me know how it's going for you. If you take methotrexate, if you have any autoimmune disease, my heart goes out to you. And yeah, I guess that's a life update. I don't know how incredibly bored you all must be by now, but unfortunately that is my reality. What does it mean for this channel? Nothing. I'm gonna still try and do as much as I can. I think I get energy bursts, like when I did this wall paneling. That was a day that my hands didn't hurt. I was in agony for a week. I woke up, I had no pain. I was like, let me drive, because I couldn't hold a steering wheel, right? I can't drive. I ran to Wix's, got the panels, got the paint. I was flying all over the place because I was pain-free on this particular day. I got it done. You could see me whacking it up with my hands. Well, let me tell you, that put me out of action for days. So I do know that I can't do all of the things. And quite frankly, that's pissed me off. That's really pissed me off. It's pissed me off. I had plans. I had grand plans. And I'm hoping that with medication, life can return to some kind of normality, that I will experience a life without being in pain every day. That's the plan, Batman. And science will hopefully deliver that to me. I'm grateful to science. Thank you, science, for existing. Thank you, doctors. Thank you, NHS. I love you. And guys, I love you too. If you're still here, thank you for listening to everything that's been going on. Right now, as it stands, I woke up this morning a little bit stiff, a bit worried about that. But 9th of December, hopefully, we will be on our journey, on our medication. And yeah, that's it. I think that's all I've got to say, apart from I'm obsessed with this paneling. I'm obsessed with the walls. I'm obsessed with everything, everything. And yeah, I hope you'll still stick around to see me do some things when my hands are working. You don't need working hands to necessarily hold a hoover. Do you know what I mean? We could do some clean with me's and like hold a duster from a distance. I'm only kidding, guys. Who's cleaning? I'm not cleaning. I will see you all next Sunday, hopefully, because I am itching, guys. I am itching to get back out there, itching to get to B&M as well. So on a day next week when I'm healthy and I'm able to do everything, which is today, but we've got plans today, I'm gonna get to B&M. I need some things. So yeah, I will see you all. Thanks for being here. And yeah, let me know if you've got any experience at all or any advice. So many people have advised me, like, take this, take ginger, take turmeric, take pepper, and I definitely will speak to my doctor on the 9th of December before I start taking any alternative kind of things. But I know that ginger and green tea, they're all natural things. So I am going to start drinking. I already started this morning. You'll be very proud to know I bought my first box of green tea. It's disgusting. You guys are weirdos. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. It was disgusting. It was actually disgusting because I've got myself a Yorkshire tea right now. Green tea, ginger, turmeric with black pepper. I had that this morning. I don't think that can hurt, right? I don't know. But anyway, I will speak to my doctor before I take any more alternative medications that everyone's telling me to take. Yeah, I appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next video. Stay positive, stay healthy, eat cake.